Welcome back to the BetCanada channel, and I am Jeff Lloyd. We have some news, not just news. We have major news, breaking news. Jerry Jones, what did you just do? One of the most established players in the NFL, one of the best defensive players in the NFL, Micah Parsons, has been traded by the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers. The Dallas Cowboys, in return, receive Kenny Clark. We will talk about that. And 2 first-round selections. We will also talk about that. The Green Bay Packers just got a player they've been trying to add to their defense for years now. They couldn't necessarily find the right guy to draft. The guys they drafted, they couldn't develop. And they went out and literally just fleeced Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. We go through these situations with dominant players in the league and trying to get their contract demands met. Some guys are an absolute no-brainer. Go back to January, February. There was a very disgruntled Myles Garrett with the Cleveland Browns. And yes, the Browns were not successful. But Myles Garrett ultimately won the tug of war, and at the time was given a contract to be the highest paid defensive player in NFL history. Other players followed suit. Well, Micah Parsons stood there, not demanding, not screaming, not yelling, certainly not going to Radio Road the Super Bowl, giving the Dallas Cowboys a hard time. Micah Parsons won an extension. Micah Parsons wanted to stay with the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones dragged negotiations. Jerry Jones didn't understand just exactly the value that a player that Micah Parsons gave his team. Jerry Jones, at times, insulted his agent, David Mulugeta, one of the best NFL agents in the NFL today. Jerry Jones, sometimes when you think you are the smartest man in the room, but nobody agrees with you, the joke is on you. This trade, and Kenny Clark goes to the Dallas Cowboys. Kenny Clark is now 29 years old, and Kenny Clark is coming off the worst season of his NFL career. So getting Kenny Clark may give you something, but is certainly not giving you anything close to the impact that a player like Micah Parsons was giving you. The Cleveland Browns in the 2025 NFL Draft traded the number 2 overall selection to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They got back the number 5 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft and also got the Jaguars' first round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Most likely, the Jaguars, maybe at best, will contend for a playoff spot, which means for the Browns at worst, that second first round pick will maybe be somewhere 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So they got a number 5 overall pick and a pick in the teens. By giving Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers after the draft, the Dallas Cowboys are most likely going to get 2 first round picks, yes, but 2 first round picks that will be made in the 20s. So the Cleveland Browns traded an unknown player, a player who had never even taken a snap in the NFL, for better draft compensation than the Dallas Cowboys just got for Micah Parsons. Jerry Jones, it is great to have a boatload of money. It is great to run an NFL team and own an NFL team. But you cannot believe that you were equipped to handle the day-to-day operations of an NFL franchise. And today is just yet another example of that. You have Dak Prescott making essentially more money than any quarterback in the NFL. That has not proven anything. It has not brought any playoff wins. It has not brought in any championships. You made a move this year for wide receiver George Pickens. Nice on-field talent, an absolute head case, a guy you cannot trust. Jerry Jones just consistently finds ways to deconstruct any positive construction he does to his roster. Micah Parsons is hands down a top 10 overall player within the NFL and a top 5, top 3 probably defensive player in the NFL. The Cowboys have no defense now without Micah Parsons. All their cornerbacks who are good create turnovers. Every one of them is coming off of major injuries over the last year or two. The Dallas Cowboys probably just went from a team that could probably contend for a playoff spot to a team who just sank their own battleship. This is the BetCanada channel. We appreciate everybody for listening along. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. Leave some comments. The Green Bay Packers. The one thing that has kind of been the Achilles heel for the Green Bay Packers for the last few seasons has been a dominant, game-changing pass rusher. They've tried to address it numerous times. Either they didn't draft a guy high enough or they weren't able to develop the guy to the level they needed him to. Would you give up 2 first-round picks for a Micah Parsons? Of course you would, especially when you know adding Micah Parsons to your team absolutely makes you a playoff team for the next 2 years. This is a no-brainer move for the Green Bay Packers. Sure, you gotta pay him. So what? Who's not gonna pay for 12, 13, 14, 15 sacks? A player that's gonna be on your defense, that's gonna have the opposing offensive coordinator weekly up scratching his head, losing his hair about how his team is going to defend Micah Parsons. He can play at the linebacker position if you need him to. He can do a little coverage if you need him to. He can pass rush from the A gap, the B gap, the C gap. He can line up the edge. You can keep it at linebacker. You can let him blitz. He is an absolute chess piece queen as far as pass rushing is concerned for a defensive coordinator. And you got him for 2 picks that'll most likely be in the 20s. Heck, one of those picks might likely be in the 30s. The Green Bay Packers didn't even go all in, but now their roster is all in. One of the most dominant players in the game. 2 first-round picks and a defensive tackle who was most likely aging himself out of being a predominant player, a guy who's going to take a large amount of snaps for your team. For the Cowboys, America's team, this is embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. You showed your age. You showed your lack of understanding positional value in the NFL. I'm not gonna say you gave him away, but it seems like you negotiated with one team and one team only. The Green Bay Packers have to be salivating right now. And one of even the better parts of this for the Green Bay Packers is they now have a guy who's aggravated and even more motivated because the team who drafted him and watched him develop from when they first drafted him as really just a linebacker, he became a pass rusher because they had so many injuries. He basically nominated himself to help out in that regard and turned into one of the most dominant pass rushers the last few seasons, and a guy who was on a path to become a first team Hall of Famer, first period Hall of Famer. And you just couldn't satisfy him. Jerry Jones and his ego could not get out of his own way. America's team, it's a joke at this point. You may have the biggest stadium, the brightest lights within that stadium. But as long as that guy continues to call the shots in Dallas, it's a joke of a franchise. It's a non-serious franchise. Green Bay Packers just absolutely stymied what used to be America's team. I am Jeff Lloyd. This is the Bet Canada channel, and we cannot appreciate you people anymore for supporting us. Go ahead and subscribe to the page, give some likes to the video, give some comments, and we'll continue to give you all our thoughts on the top NFL action.